Alright, here's the last kind of problem we're going to deal with. This is an interest problem. It says, a person plans to invest a total of $6,000 in a Nexity Bank CD at 2.85% annual interest and an FMI Focus mutual fund that has an annual interest of 9%. Let X and Y be the amount of money invested in the CD and the mutual fund, respectively. Alright, now a lot of times students will ask me, if I have a choice and I can invest some money at 2.85% and some money at 9%, why wouldn't I just put all the money at 9%? And my answer is, there's different deals here. Usually a CD, CDs you can buy short term. So a CD, you might buy a 30-day CD or a 3-month CD or a 9-month CD, which means that in 30 days or 60 days or however long you bought it, you can get your money back. Where a mutual fund usually is a long-term investment. A mutual fund, usually you put it in and you can't take the money out until your retirement age. Well, you can take the money out, but you pay a big penalty to take it out. So that's why you might want to split your money and put part of it in a mutual fund, which earns high interest, part of it somewhere else so that you can access it if you need it. Okay? I agree in general, given the choice, I want all my money at 9% also. Alright, this time they tell us what the two variables are. X is the amount of money we put in the CD, and Y is the amount of money that we put in the mutual fund. Alright, and then it says, let I of X be the total interest earned from investing the $6,000 for 1 year. Determine an equation for I of X. Alright, here's how I would start this one. I have two variables again. I have X and Y. What I know about X and Y is I know that X plus Y has to be $6,000. Because I'm taking my money and I'm splitting it up. And again, think of it. If I invest $1,000 in the CD, then I had to put $5,000 in the mutual fund. I had to split them that way. So I know the amount I put in one plus the amount in the other has to be the total amount of money I had. Alright, then they want us to find a formula for interest. So interest would be 0.0285x. That would be the amount of interest I earned from the first account. That would be the amount of interest from the CD. You take your interest rate and you multiply it by the amount of money you put in there, plus 0.09 times Y. That would be the amount of interest that I earned in the mutual fund. Now we've got to be careful. Notice the symbol given here. Determine I of X. What that means is I want a formula for I that only has the letter X in it. Right now I have X and Y. So what they're really telling you is, hey, you're going to come over here and you're going to do substitution. You're going to write Y equals 6,000 minus X, and you're going to take that in and plug it in right there. So that gives me a formula for I, which only has the letter X in it. So that's 0.0285x plus 0.09 times 6,000 minus X. And I think I'm going to simplify that. That's 0.0285x plus 0.09 times 6,000 is 540 minus 0.09x. So 0.0285 minus 0.09, 0.0285 minus 0.09, I have minus 0.0615x plus 540. So there's my formula. Nice and simple. Part B. Again, part A is the hardest part. The hardest part of any word problem is getting this written down, figuring out what they want, and getting your formulas written down. The rest of this should be pretty simple. Let's see. Evaluate. I at 0, I at 1,000, I at 3,000, and I at 6,000. And then explain what they mean. Alright, well this means plug 0 in for x, so I plug 0 in for x. That one I can do in my head, I get 540. If x is 1,000, I'm going to have minus 0.0615 times 1,000 plus 540. That's 478.50. And then I do the same thing, except I let x be 3,000. I get 355.50. And then finally repeat one more time, except have x be 6,000. And as normal, I'm just using my calculator to plug these in. Alright, now we got to explain what they mean. Well, this first one, I'll write down a couple of these. I'm not going to have space to write them all down, but I'll explain what they mean. I of 0 equals 540. Alright, so this means we plugged 0 in for x. So if I'm plugging 0 in for x, x is the amount in the CD. So this means I invested nothing. I invested $0 in the CD, which means I put $6,000 in the mutual fund. So I decided I decided I didn't need this $6,000 for a long time, and I could put all of it in the mutual fund. And if I do that, nothing in the CD, $6,000 in the mutual fund, I will earn $540 in interest each year. Oops, spelling interest wrong. Okay, and these other ones are similar. This one would say, I invested, X is 1,000, so I invested $1,000 in the CD, which means the rest of my money, $5,000, went into the mutual fund, and when I do that, I earn $478.50. I'm going to skip this one and go to this last one. This last one says I put $6,000 in the CD, which means I put nothing in the mutual fund, and I earned $171 in interest. Alright, well that very much leads to the next question. To determine the domain and range of I of x. We remember that domain means input values. So, the domain would be the x values. Well, my choices are, x could be 0. I could choose to invest nothing in the CD, or I could choose to invest 6,000 in the CD. That would be all my money in the CD. Or I could do anything in between, like 1,000 or 3,000. So my domain would be 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 6,000. I could put 0 in the CD, or I could put 6,000 in the CD, or I could put any amount in between in the CD. That's my choice. Now my range, what kind of I numbers do I get? Well, you see, the worst thing you could do is put all your money in the CD, because that's your lowest interest thing. So if I put all my money in the CD, I'm going to earn $171 in interest. Conversely, if I put none of my money in the CD, that's the best I could do, most interest, I would earn $540. So I think my range is, the worst I can do is gain $171, and the best I can do is earn $540. So my range is, my interest is going to be between 171 and 540. Alright. Determine the x-intercept. Well, determining the x-intercept would mean I is 0. If I is 0, I'm going to have 0 equals minus 0.0615x plus 540. Move the 540 over. Minus 540 is minus 0.0615x. Divide through. I get X is 8780.49, rounding off to 2 decimal places. What does it mean in this situation? It's a trick question. It doesn't mean anything. Because this is saying we're earning no interest for the year. Well, we know that can't happen. The worst thing that can happen is we earn $171 in interest. This would also say to earn no interest, we have to invest $8,780. Well, we don't have $8,780. We only have $6,000. All right. So what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. This is model breakdown. It's an impossibility. It's impossible for us to earn no interest. It's impossible for us to invest $8,780 because we don't have that much. We only have $6,000. All right, and finally the last question. What's the slope? Well, the slope is, looking at back up at my equation here, slope is right there. The slope is minus 0.0615. And what does it mean? Well, it means I lose 0.0615% interest for every dollar I invest in the CD. So think of what's happening here. Way back at the beginning, we talked about we'd much rather put our money in the mutual fund than we would the CD because the mutual fund earns a lot more interest. So every time I invest $1 in the CD, that means I'm only earning 2.85% interest. I'm not earning the 9% interest, which means I lost 6.15% interest. I wrote that the wrong way. That should be 6.15% interest. Okay? So, again, we talked about this at the beginning. This comes down to your comfort zone when you're investing, and do you need to be able to have access to the money? Every time you put money in the CD, you're losing interest. And that's how much interest you're losing. You're losing 6.15%. All right. Here's the last thing. This is your question. And in order to be able to see it all, I guess you're going to have to print the page off that I said is up there. So go print that page off. The problem's all there. Very, very similar to the problem we just did.